Good morning. Jeff Zofel, Village Administrator here, and on behalf of the village, I'd just like to welcome all of you for coming out this morning. We really appreciate you taking the time to come out and enjoy our inaugural State of the Village event here. I'd especially like to thank the Montgomery Economic Development Corporation, see if I can get that out, and the Greater Montgomery Area Chamber of Commerce for helping both to sponsor and support this event, helping us promote it. Also, I'd like to thank Schaefer Greenhouses. They provided our flower arrangements that you see throughout today. They are a family-run business that's been here in the village for more than 90 years. With that, now we'll get to the main event. It's my honor to introduce our village president, Matt Brawley.
Says it's on. There we go. I was going to ask Youngerman to come make a joke or something while I wait. Well, good morning. Thank you for coming. Before I begin, I would like to, first of all, introduce and thank my wife, Rosa Brawley, for coming this evening, or this morning. She probably knows a lot more about TIF districts and land use plans than most wives know or care to know about. But she listens with a smile, and she's always there to support me, and I love her. And now I want to introduce some elected officials. I'm not going to admit that I love them, but I do. I appreciate all the hard work that they do for the residents of Montgomery and throughout the state. From Congressman Bill Foster's office today, we have Jim Bryant. From Comptroller Judy Bar-Topinka's office, we have Christina Mancini in the back there. And the district director from Senator Linda Holmes, Christina Hannon, is here today, over there. And then State Representative from the 50th District, Kay Hatchert. Also, we have State Representative from the 84th District, Stephanie Kifwit. Oh, she's here somewhere. There she is. Now I'm going to move on to the two other mayors that are here today that have been very instrumental in my education as I was elected last year. I have from the City of Aurora, Mayor Tom Weisner. And then our neighbor to the south, Village President Brian LeClaire. There he is. We have three county board members here today from representing Kendall County Board, Matt Prochaska. And then our two Kane County Board members, Melissa Taylor and Jesse Vasquez. And again, thank you all for coming. I want to thank everybody for coming today. Your presence here tells me that you have a sincere interest in Montgomery, since you have dedicated some of your valuable time to hear about what we as a village have accomplished in this past year and what we hope to accomplish in the future. I appreciate both your interest and your support. As you know, 2013 was an election year that resulted in several changes on the village board. Denny Lee, having already served as a board member for 12 years, was reelected to another 4-year term. He's a lifelong resident of Montgomery who has played a major role in Montgomery Fest and other community events during his many years of service. He's also very involved with the Historic Preservation Commission. Steve Youngerman was elected to his first term as trustee in April. He previously served as the chairman of Montgomery's Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals. And his experience has allowed him to hit the ground running, and he's been an asset to the board. Teresa Sperling was also newly elected as trustee in April. Similarly, she served on the Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals prior to being elected. She also served on the Orchard Road TIF Steering Committee, which we'll talk about later, and currently serves on her Homeowners Association Board of Directors. And after serving for 2 years as a village trustee on the village board, I was fortunate enough to be elected village president in April. I previously served as chairman of the Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals, and have worked both with our Montgomery Economic Development Corporation and our Chamber of Commerce. Following the election, actually before we move on, I would like to recognize the 3 board members that I just gave you a little bit about that are here this evening, or this morning. Feels like it's night because it's dark in here, but at any rate, Steve, Teresa, and Doug, if you guys could stand up. And now I can go on. Following the election in April, actually, I didn't introduce Doug yet, did I? See, I'm not following the script. The board unanimously voted to appoint Doug to fill my remaining term as village trustee. He served on the board of the Lakewood Creek Home and School as vice president for 3 years and president for 4 years. He's also served on multiple committees throughout the District 308 and has a long history of public service and giving to the community. The remaining members of the village board are Pete Hines, who's in his 27th year of service. He's been greatly involved in Montgomery Fest over the years and helped initiate the village's senior programs. Stan Bond, who's in his 3rd year of service, has energized the village's beautification program and started a Bluebird attraction program. And our village clerk, Heidi Jajeets, who was appointed in 2012 to fill a vacancy, was elected to a full term in 2013. After taking office, one of our first goals was to hire a full-time village administrator. And on June 6th, the village board unanimously appointed Jeff Zofel to fill that role. After serving as the acting administrator for 14 months, he had proven himself to be not only capable, but ideal. His 12 years of service as finance director have been an asset to the community and will continue to do so. Jeff's appointment left a vacancy. And in September, Justin Van Voren was hired as our new finance director. Justin has a background in public accounting and spent the last 9 years in the same position with the Village of Sugar Grove. With the resignation of our assistant village administrator, who'd been managing our community development department, the board considered its options and decided to search for an experienced director of community development to lead that department and assist with economic development. Consequently, Rich Young joined the village this January as director of community development. He also came to us from the Village of Sugar Grove, where he held the same position for almost 6 years. I would also like to acknowledge our remaining department heads, Director of Public Works, Mike Pubens, and Chief of Police, Dan Myers. Together, the gentlemen have a total of 42 years of service to Montgomery, and we appreciate their efforts. If I can have the department heads that are here this evening, or this morning, please rise. I think that with these changes, with the board and staff, we have an excellent team in place. With the board providing the vision for Montgomery's future and staff working to make that future a reality. I also want to acknowledge and thank all of the village employees for their efforts on behalf of this community. We have an excellent group of employees, and I value their hard work. In addition to our employees, we have many dedicated residents who give their time to serve on various commissions and committees. Members of our Plan Commission meet monthly and make recommendations to the village board regarding land use, planning, and zoning. The Beautification Committee plans and promotes projects that enhance and highlight the village's natural beauty, such as the planting flowers on the Mill Street Bridge, installation of the birdhouses that attract the bluebirds, and recognizing residents' efforts with our holiday decorations contest. Members of our Historic Preservation Commission operate the Settlers Cottage Museum that you see out front, and plan our annual cemetery walk. Community and business leaders also serve on the board of Fire and Police Commissioners, the Police Pension Board, and the Revolving Fund Committee. All of these groups help the village to carry out its mission and enrich this community. And I'd like to acknowledge and thank the commission and committee members for their service. And if we have any members of any of those committees or commissions that are here this evening, if you could please stand to be recognized. This morning. just John. As village president, I'm proud of what we were able to accomplish in 2013, some of which was recognized by awards from outside organizations. In March, we received the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award from the Government Finance Officers Association for the second year in a row. This award encourages and recognizes local governments to prepare high-quality budget documents that reflect the best practices in budgeting. Additionally, the village received the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Finance Reporting for the 10th consecutive year. These awards reflect the village's efforts in planning and stewardship of its resources. We also received 2 awards related to code enforcement in 2013. First, the village was recognized by the American Association of Code Enforcement for outstanding marketing and code enforcement, marketing of the code enforcement profession. This award was in recognition of our increased public education and outreach efforts community-wide. Secondly, Montgomery Code Enforcement Officer Laura Rouse-DeVore gained national recognition when she was named Code Official of the Year by the International Code Council. She is the first individual from the state of Illinois and the first woman to ever receive this award. Laura, would you please stand to be recognized? One of our police sergeants also received recognition for outstanding work this past year. Sergeant Elizabeth Palco was named one of the 2013 Rising Shields of Law Enforcement by the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police for her leadership in advancing the field. The award looks to recognize officers and future law enforcement executives under the age of 45 who represent the most progressive law enforcement leaders in the state. I know Liz is here today. Liz, would you please stand to be recognized? During 2013, we accomplished several major projects that required a great deal of coordination between the village, staff, and this community. The village was fortunate to receive a federal grant for $100,000 to create a new comprehensive plan and spent most of 2013 working on just that. Comprehensive plan takes an overall look at the community and considers future land uses, transportation options, community facilities, and a host of other important issues. This project involved a large amount of public input that included several community workshops, as you see on the screen, an interactive mapping project website, resident surveys, and most recently, the public open house on the draft land use plans. There will be a public hearing at the March 13th Plan Commission meeting to review the plan, and the village board hopes to adopt this in April. This document will provide us with a vision to work towards Montgomery's future when developers and businesses come into this village. Another important project that took a great deal of time and effort was the creation of the Tax Increment Financing District, or TIF, along Orchard and Alcott Road corridors. The TIF will be used to fund infrastructure and other improvements that will enable the development in that area. This process allows for the improvements to occur at no cost to village residents and is in keeping with the board's policy that development must pay for itself. Over the course of this project, the village worked closely with the property owners and other taxing districts to ensure that the TIF is successful while protecting everyone's needs. We look forward to using the new TIF district as an economic development tool to benefit the village. Also in 2013, we had a major upgrade to a portion of our water system that serves approximately 9,000 residents of unincorporated Boulder Hill. As that system of water mains aged, it experienced a high number of water main breaks and rusty-colored water in some areas. After investigation, it was determined that we should install approximately 20,000 feet of main, including eliminating some dead-end mains and replacing of some undersized mains. This is an $8 million project that will be spread over 3 years, the first phase of which was installed in 2013, approximately 12,000 feet of new water main. These improvements were long overdue, and we would like to express my appreciation to the village board for their leadership, This project also required close coordination with Oswego Township, who owns and maintains the roads in that area, and I would like to thank the township officials, especially Highway Commissioner Gary Grosskopf, for his cooperation with the village on this project. We believe that these partnerships resulted in a successful first phase of the project, and we look forward to completing the work this year. In October, the village closed its dispatch center and joined KenCom Public Safety Dispatch. This was done to save a projected $500,000 annually. It took months of planning and coordination, and we made the switch in October. Most of the changes occurred from an administrative standpoint, so we're confident that residents will see no difference level of service. And in addition to the substantial cost savings, we now have increased interoperability with other departments, including the Kendall County Sheriff's Office, Oswego Police and Fire, and Yorkville Police. And one factor I know that all communities have had to deal with over the past few years is the economy. New home construction in the village has slowed when the recession hit, but some growth has continued. Blackberry Crossing West and Foxmore were completely built out during 2013, and we have seen new investment in building in 3 previously stalled subdivisions. New homes are now being built in Orchard Prairie North, Saratoga Springs, and Fieldstone Place. The resurrection of these subdivisions was largely due to builder perseverance and the building fee reduction that the board enacted in 2012. We are additionally seeing increased activity in other areas of the village and look forward to new development in 2014. As the state of the economy, it also resulted in a significant number of foreclosures over the past years. Considerable staff time has been spent monitoring properties that have become vacant to ensure that they are properly maintained and the grass is cut so that they don't become an eyesore in our neighborhoods. The good news is that the number of foreclosures in Montgomery has decreased by 36% from this time last year. This is a very good sign as we move forward into 2014. I believe that one of the best things that we can do for the local economy is to focus on existing jobs and creating new employment opportunities here by reaching out to new companies and those looking to expand. We are proud of some of our recent successes in this area, including the expansion of Fox River Foods, which brought 68 new jobs to Montgomery. This project was made possible through the village's revolving fund program. This program was established more than 20 years ago through a state grant and is used to support businesses that want to expand and create jobs here in Montgomery. When Performance Food Groups purchased Fox River Foods, they repaid the loan, making those funds available to be reinvested with another business. Those funds were subsequently used to support a $24 million expansion by Butterball, which has created another 100 jobs. Finally, we're very excited about the opening of Sam's Club this summer. This is the first Sam's Club in Kendall County, and in addition will benefit shoppers from the whole area. We'll also create 150 new jobs in this community. We're working hard on a variety of jobs. We're working hard to provide a variety of jobs in our community, since creating jobs is one method to help our residents keep and maintain their homes and standard of living. As with many communities, we saw store closings due to the poor economy, most notably Applebee's and Kmart. While it's disappointing to have those longtime businesses close, we also know that these vacancies will create opportunities to attract new investment, new stores and restaurants in our village. This new growth and development in those buildings will serve as a catalyst for that whole area. It's important for us to take every opportunity to market our community to prospective and desired retailers, including attending the International Council of Shopping Center national and Midwest events. With over 1,000 exhibitors participating, ICSC allows the village to meet with a wide variety of potential businesses and developers very quickly and efficiently. The contacts made at ICSC are very valuable and can lead the way to major new investment in Montgomery. It is at the National ICSC event a few years ago that my predecessor, Marilyn Michelini, secured Sam's Club. And of course, Sam's Club is now under construction, and we hope that that will generate more development in the Ogden Hill subdivision. And then, of course, this year we hope to highlight our new TIF district along Orchard Road. As we move Montgomery forward, or as we work to move Montgomery forward, the MEDC is a valued partner with the village. The MEDC works daily to promote economic development, economic stability, expansion, and diversification. The MEDC helps support and sustain existing businesses and also promotes Montgomery to attract new businesses to this community. The MEDC and the village work to show a consistent message and to advertise how great Montgomery is for business. The MEDC also offers networking events and workforce development opportunities, and they're a great resource to local businesses. Along those same lines, the Chamber is a great asset to our business community. Their sole function is to support our local businesses. The Chamber offers monthly networking events and educational luncheons. I would encourage any business that's here today that's not already a member of the Chamber and the MEDC to check out the opportunities and benefits of each. The village board and staff, we're here to serve the citizens of Montgomery. And as village president, I believe that being responsive to our residents is a key role of our local government. We take that responsibility very seriously, and we've set aside time at the start of every board meeting so that residents can address the board. And during the past year, we heard from several residents on a variety of issues. A recent example that demonstrated our renewed commitment to citizen responsiveness was the 3rd Avenue Drainage Project. The village had awarded a contract for the installation of new water main on 3rd Avenue. And while the project was underway, homeowners contacted our Director of Public Works to share concerns about drainage in their neighborhood. Our director held meetings with the residents, and they attended board meetings to discuss the matter directly with the board. These discussions resulted in the board approving corrective actions recommended by Director Pubens, and within 6 weeks, existing culverts had been cleaned of debris and new culverts were installed. Ditches were excavated to increase their capacity, and turf restoration was complete. All of these measures have greatly improved drainage in that neighborhood and have minimized the chance of yard and basement flooding that had occurred. When issues like this are brought up to the board, the answer cannot always be yes, as there's a finite amount of funds available and many needs throughout the village. But it is gratifying when we are able to identify and fix a problem to the satisfaction of those residents. Another issue that arose last summer was when residents alerted us that the weather warning sirens were not audible in some of the new far western subdivisions. This led to a series of discussions with the board, and research was done on various options for fixing that situation. As a result, we've included funds for an additional weather warning siren in the upcoming budget. The safety of our residents is a top priority, and I know the board is very anxious to take action on this item. As our population has increased and the population of the region has increased, we have seen an increased number of trains passing through the village on a daily basis. The increased train frequency brings a corresponding increase in noise from the train horns. And in 2013, we heard from several residents asking what can be done about this. We understand and appreciate their concerns and are sympathetic to their quality of life. Included in the proposed budget for consideration by the village board is a request to fund a railroad quiet zone study. The study is the first step in determining its feasibility to create a new quiet zone in Montgomery. The first priority is crossing safety, and quiet zones can only be created if the safety levels will not be diminished. In addition to, depending on the type of improvements required, it may be cost prohibitive for the village to actually move forward with the quiet zone. However, a final decision cannot be made until the study is completed. Another example showing the value of resident input occurred when a 9-year-old resident attended our board meeting a few months ago. She attended the cemetery walk in October, liked it so much and had an idea for another project that historic preservation could work on. So she stood to this podium here and is the youngest person that I can ever recall that addressed the board at a meeting. She suggested that we have a historic walking tour of Montgomery. And so we forward that suggestion to our Historic Preservation Commission, and they like the idea. And they anticipate moving forward with that at a Saturday in June. And again, this is a great example of one resident's thought or interest can be a benefit to our entire community. I want to emphasize again that the village board is here to listen to any concerns brought by our residents. Emphasize. We appreciate people who care enough about the community to take time to come to a meeting and make us aware of the issues. Although we can't solve every problem immediately, we need to know and we want to know about things that are important to our residents and our businesses. In addition to the time set aside during public meetings, we do communicate to our residents via Facebook, village newsletter, our website, email blasts, in order to provide up-to-date information to our residents. But we don't want that flow of information to be one way. I urge our residents to be active citizens who take part in the community and make their ideas and concerns known. To encourage communication, I've instituted a monthly Mayor on the Move event. They're held at convenient locations throughout Montgomery on the first Saturday of the month and are designed to be family-friendly events where residents can chat with me in a more casual atmosphere and share ideas. The location changes each month in order to showcase a different business or a different area of our community. This is just one more avenue that our residents can provide suggestions and input. I want to hear about what's important and how we can work together to make Montgomery a better place to live and work. The village also sponsors several events throughout the year that bring people together from all parts of our community. These opportunities to gather family and friends and bond together as a community. We partner with Community Christian Church to offer the Easter egg hunt in Montgomery Park with crafts and other activities in Village Hall. And last year, on a beautiful sunny day, we had approximately 1,000 people participate. We also offer 3 open-air concerts in the park, that are held each summer in Montgomery Park. It's a beautiful setting where several hundred people come to enjoy music and beautiful weather. This summer, we'll be hosting our 30th annual Montgomery Fest. And last year, we expanded the fest to 3 days and enjoyed record attendance estimated at 15,000. The festival includes a carnival, craft booths, a car show, food vendors, fireworks, and most importantly, great musical entertainment. A lot of work goes into planning the fest, but it simply could not happen without the generous business support that we have. I see representatives from those businesses here today, and I want you to know how much we appreciate your support. In 2013, we held our 10th annual River Run, which has traditionally been a 5K, but we also added a 10K for the first time. Runners use the scenic paths as the race winds up and down the beautiful Fox River, and the event brings runners throughout the Fox Valley area. As I mentioned earlier, the Historic Preservation Commission organizes a cemetery walk in October of each year in Riverside Cemetery. Many people who play a significant role in Montgomery's past are buried there, and it provides an excellent opportunity for a bit of history brought to life and to learn more about Montgomery and its past leaders. Throughout the year, we offer a senior presentation and lunch on the second Tuesday of each month. The programs range from musical entertainment to health or financial seminars. Our senior group continues to grow, and we are happy to host these events here in Village Hall. Our year of events concludes with our annual tree lighting ceremony, co-sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce. The highlights of the event are Santa's arrival on a fire truck, Christmas songs by local schools and scout groups, and the Festival of Trees, where businesses and organizations decorate a tree here in Village Hall, and it's a great way to promote our local businesses, and people in the community really enjoy the wide variety of ways these trees are decorated. We work hard to strike a balance between the level of funding needed to provide the essential services to our residents, and our desire to minimize that tax burden on our residents. As you know, the village levies a property tax each year to help pay for these services, which include our police protection and our snow plowing, which we've used a lot this year. I believe that we provide a great value to our residents for the relatively small amount of tax we receive from each household. At our current tax rate, the Village of Montgomery receives $320 on a home valued at $200,000. While the village is allowed by state statute to increase that amount each year, the board chose to freeze the tax levy this year in recognition of the fact that families and businesses are still recovering from the economic downturn. The state of Illinois approved deregulation of the residential electric supply 4 years ago. This allowed for municipal aggregation, whereby the village bids out electricity of its residents and businesses as a group, producing a lower rate than they could get individually. The village has saved its residents and small businesses $1.2 million through this program since August of 2012. So about 17 months, the aggregation allowed us to keep $1.2 million right here in Montgomery. We pride ourselves on being fiscally responsible and continually seek cost-saving measures in order to ensure the best use of our taxpayer money. Our goal is to provide a great value to our residents by doing more with less. It's important that the Village of Montgomery be actively engaged with other communities and agencies in the area to address regional concerns. The establishment of Metro West, our local council of government, has been a tremendous help in this process by bringing together elected officials from Kane, Kendall, and DeKalb counties to network and collaborate on regional issues. In April, we participated in the annual legislative drive-down organized by Metro West, where area officials drive down to Springfield and meet with our state senators and representatives to share our issues and concerns. This year, in addition to our legislators, we were able to sit down with Governor Quinn to discuss these issues. The main issues that we discussed during our visit were protecting local revenues from further reduction by the state, controlling the cost of our public pension system, and giving local government more control over local issues, such as code enforcement and licensing programs. On that last issue, members of Metro West have worked hard to draft the Municipal Authority Modernization Act, which, I had to change the speech, was introduced in Springfield last Friday by both Representative Bob Pritchard and State Senator Linda Holmes. So we are very excited about moving that bill forward and seeing that become a reality, where this village and all villages of a medium size can have more local control than we currently do. In July, the mayors of 4 contiguous municipalities, 2 of which are in the audience, Aurora, Montgomery, Oswego, and Yorkville, enjoyed a day kayaking on the beautiful Fox River to promote the waterway as a tool for economic development and recreational opportunities in the region. This united effort also illustrated the need to open up the existing canoe bypass channel in Montgomery. This would greatly increase the value of the waterway for recreational uses and spur further tourism, recreation, and economic development in the 4 communities. The current concrete earthen dam is the only obstacle to an otherwise uninterrupted 13-mile trek from Aurora through Yorkville. I strongly advocate this change that would enhance the recreational use of our greatest resource and would even love to see a whitewater park in the canoe bypass. Economic development grant funding is being considered for the project, and the show of solidarity between the municipalities and other stakeholders will be valuable in securing future funds. So that's what we accomplished in just about 6-8 months in office. And this is what we hope to accomplish in a full year. Looking ahead, we have some very exciting projects and opportunities that are going to come to fruition this year. The Fox Valley Park District recently undertook a $9.5 million expansion of facilities at Stewart Sports Complex, adding 12 soccer fields, 4 lit baseball fields, and a dog park. And we look forward to these new tournament-grade facilities opening during 2014. With that project complete, the Park District plans to begin work on upgrades to Jericho Lake that will add 2 shelters, restrooms, and a path around the lake. If you've driven through Montgomery recently, you've noticed that IDOT began widening Route 30 in 2 different locations. 2 different projects. Route 30, they're going to widen from 2 lanes to 4 lanes from Goodwin Drive near Route 30 all the way west to Briarcliff Road. The project also includes installation of sound walls both on the north side of the road and the south side of the road between Douglas and Briarcliff. This is a multi-year project that is planned to be completed this fall. At the same time, IDOT started reconstruction of the 3031 interchange. This project includes roadway reconstruction and widening, resurfacing of both Route 30 and 31, and realignment of the on-off ramps, with a traffic light and railroad crossing being moved from K Street to Watkins. This project is also planned for completion by the end of 2014. With both of these major roadways occurring simultaneously, motorists have experienced some traffic delays and inconvenience. However, these improvements are providing approximately $44 million to our local economy, and once complete, will greatly improve the flow of traffic for those travelers as they use Route 30 and 31. In the coming year, the village will work closely with the MEDC to promote the newly created TIF district along Orchard and Alcott roads. We intend to target commercial and retail businesses that will provide products and services that are currently underrepresented in the village, as well as industrial and manufacturing companies that will complement the existing businesses and create new job opportunities here in Montgomery. This past Monday night, the village board heard a presentation outlining the condition of our roads in Montgomery. The village should be spending approximately $2.2 million per year in order to be able to maintain our roadway conditions. However, for the past 10 years, we have only been able to expend $650,000 a year. At that rate, each road in the village would get resurfaced once every 71 years, which exceeds the pavement life expectancy of 20 to 25 years. Currently, the village does not have a resource to fund our capital expenditure for roads. However, maintaining our infrastructure has to be a top priority. This means the village board needs to find a way to increase our expenditure in street maintenance so that we can provide safe and secure roads for our residents and protect our property values. After considering many alternatives, I believe that our best option is to ask our voters to approve a non-home rule sales tax referendum to help pay for road maintenance. If approved, a 1% sales tax for infrastructure improvements will be paid on durable goods, adding $1 for every $100 you spend, but would not include groceries, medical equipment, or services. In addition, it would allow us to collect taxes from people outside of the community that shop at our stores and travel on our roads. I can't speak for the village board, but I would personally like to say I'm in favor of moving forward with this initiative rather than having to raise taxes and put that full burden on our residents. This is something that the village board will be discussing many times in the coming months because our roads are certainly a priority and we need to adequately fund their maintenance. Building on the comprehensive plan undertaken during our past year, the village will be budgeting for a strategic plan this year. It's through a strategic plan that the village formally adopts its missions and values and then creates specific and actionable goals to promote and achieve that vision. As was done with the comprehensive plan, the development of this plan will include many opportunities for input from stakeholders in our community. As part of our economic development efforts, we instituted a Business Boost program where we focused on meeting with new and smaller businesses to learn about their needs and help promote them. In 2014, we plan to continue that effort with the focus being on meeting with many of our major businesses and developers. We want to be sure that we understand their needs and concerns and want to offer any assistance that we can to maintain a business-friendly atmosphere here in Montgomery. As we look to 2014 and beyond, it's important that the village continue to work with IDOT on the Phase 1 study for improving Route 30 from Route 31 west all the way to Route 47. We certainly will look forward to the completion of the widening project on Route 30 to the east, but approximately half of our residents live west of Orchard Road, and this is a very important project for them. We will also continue to advocate for the future extension of commuter rail through the village and into Kendall County. We have been working with Metra as they look for options in this extension and a future Metra station in Montgomery. This is an important project that will ease congestion on our area highways by providing additional mass transit options for the region. And this is not a project that's going to be completed in 2014. This is an ongoing project that will take, that I envision the village will continue to push for until it does become a reality. I'm absolutely confident that the future holds many exciting things in Montgomery. I've mentioned a few things that we're looking forward to in the coming months, such as the grand opening of Sam's Club and new opportunities in economic development as we market the properties in our new TIF. But I think the fundamental things that have made Montgomery and continue to make Montgomery such a wonderful place to be our greatest assets. We have an amazing amount of natural beauty and recreational opportunities here in Montgomery. The Fox River is home to all types of wildlife, including egrets, herons, and bald eagles. The river provides wonderful recreation opportunities such as kayaking and fishing, and our networks of parks and bike paths continue to grow. The village created our naturalized stormwater basins in the new areas of the village, and that harbors wildlife and beauty in our community. And we are fortunate to have so many opportunities to enjoy nature right here. The village offers an excellent selection of well-tended homes throughout the village, and we're ideally located along major highways where our proximity to Aurora and Chicago give us access to all the amenities of a major city while still retaining our small-town feel. As you know, this area has been among the fastest growing in Illinois and in the country. And we welcome the new businesses and residents who have joined us in recent years and contribute so much to our community. We anticipate that as Montgomery continues to grow, we will do so in a thoughtful and controlled manner so we can retain all of the things that we love about this community. Again, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for attending today. And working together, I know that we can continue to move Montgomery forward and make it an even better place to live and work. Thank you.